This is just a short video addressing a concern I've been feeling. I'm not going to show you any specific examples of bullying, but if you look, you'll find it. I just don't wish to give those individuals extra attention. I do feel it is important enough to share my feelings on the subject while I'm still working on other content. Welcome, I'm Atten, and within any thriving community, it's essential to embrace tolerance and diversity, keeping a healthy space open for a variety of voices and opinions to be heard, where positive and creative perspectives can flourish. However, there's a concept known as the paradox of tolerance introduced by philosopher Karl Popper, which states that if a society expresses unlimited tolerance, it risks being taken over by the intolerant. To maintain a genuinely open and inclusive community, you must not tolerate toxic behaviors and attitudes that seek to harm or silence vulnerable or marginalized people. I personally prefer to use satire that applies poignant yet subtle pressure on toxic behavior. I've made it no secret that I soundly reject and ridicule anyone stuck on repeating the same arguments about edition wars or a certain unnamed game publisher. Because, yeah, geez, we get it. Welcome to the 1990s. Move on. Manufactured performative outrage is harmful to the hobby, but I understand why some content creators do it. YouTube rewards it. So I'm not even upset with people who make those videos. It's the fact that it works for views and subscribers that I find most disappointing. Also, I feel a little sorry for those people because they're pigeonholing themselves into a terrible place with an audience of negativity that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I can't imagine how gross I'd feel if I had to read the comments on those types of videos every day. I think we can all agree that there's already more than enough hate in this world, and I don't want to be part of generating more. On the contrary, I seek opportunities to lift up positive voices. It's good for others, it's good for our hobby, and it's good for our own mental health. That's why I made this video. In the tabletop role-playing community, just like any other, understanding the principles behind the paradox of tolerance is particularly important. Our shared love for tabletop role-playing games, regardless of the specific system, genre, or publisher, should unite us. However, we sometimes see intolerance and bullying aimed at certain members of our community. I believe it's vital to address this issue head-on to ensure a supportive and respectful environment for everyone, regardless of their gender, background, or level of experience. Standing against bullying in the TTRPG community is important. You don't need to look too hard to find some troubling and unacceptable videos on this platform. Fortunately, they are limited in number, but it's disheartening to see grown adult men bullying female voices in the TTRPG community. Their attacks are not based on the content creator's ideas, but instead seem focused on targeting their gender, with claims that a woman's success on this platform is based solely on looks and sex appeal. Dismissing someone's success based on gender is a form of sexism and bullying. It's bad enough to know there are individuals who think like that, but then to realize they felt confident enough about it that they took the time to record themselves and upload it to this platform. Beliefs like that, much less actual videos on the platform, undermine the valuable contributions of female voices and create a hostile environment. Those sexist attacks just sound like mean-spirited jealousy. For instance, I've never seen any middle-aged women on YouTube complaining that
Bob Worldbuilder isn't qualifying, he's only popular because of his massive sex appeal.
But I do see older men attacking women young enough to be their daughters. I grew up being bullied for my nerdy hobbies, and I refuse to see that happen to others. It costs us nothing to be nice. I appreciate that everyone subscribed to We Love TTRPGs knows this. I can always tell when the Reddit crowd discovers one of my videos. That's when the downvotes and hate posting begins. On the subject of bullying, I'm speaking about this as a grognard that was subjected to a childhood of bullying, and as an adult, I won't tolerate it. For example, from 2006 until around 2012, I played DDO, the MMORPG Dungeons & Dragons Online. I played that game like it was my job. I was an obsessive power gamer. But I didn't like the attitude many MMORPG power gamers had. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, the toxic attitudes, the rudeness, and belittling remarks directed at others. So I created a guild with the best on the server, and we proved that you could be one of the top players without being a jerk. Communicating with others online is not an excuse to be a jerk. I began playing D&D in 1980, so as much as I want to pretend otherwise, that means I am in fact a grognard. What is a grognard? Well, aside from being a word that sounds like a doctor should be checking below my belt for blisters, grognard was the title of Napoleon's original Imperial Guard that made the final charge into Waterloo. Why is that important? Well, it's not. But according to the one internet search I did, I'm told grognard is the French word for grumbler. Oh man, dang it, French people. I thought we really had a good thing going, but yuck, that word, come on, please, I'm not a fan. Okay, back to the grognards. We old people, we got opinions. You see, back in our day, we'd walk 10 miles in the snow uphill to our friend's unheated basement to play first edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. And dagnabbit, we loved it. You whippersnappers don't understand the joy of playing an unbalanced, broken game with very little guidance, resulting in us all just having to make stuff up without Reddit telling us why we were idiots doing everything wrong. And for some reason, a lot of us still think that that's the best version of Dungeons & Dragons. Well, unless you were one of those basics, you know, the Mold Bay people. Okay, no lie. Us AD&Ders, we were snobs, and we thought those Mold Bay basics were, well, you know, basic. Now, fast forward some 40 years, and while us grognards are sucking on our Werther's originals, there's a whole new crop of D&D players. Some have taken this as an invitation to look down on the younger generation of gamers, which is why I'm asking, why can't everyone, especially older players who know firsthand the harmful effects of that behavior, just be happy that young people are participating in this cool hobby? Are they jealous those youngins aren't getting picked on as much as we were? Because unfortunately, it's true. We were getting it from all sides, not just the other kids for being nerds and geeks, but also from grown adults who claimed we were involved in satanic rituals. These adults claimed playing Dungeons & Dragons would cause us to lose touch with reality. Just let that sink in for a minute. Who exactly was losing touch with reality? So we had to live through that from outside voices. And I think it's pretty messed up now. It's also coming from those within the hobby. I mean, I get it. If it wasn't for us grognards keeping the game alive all these years, I don't know if there'd still be any D&D to argue about at all. And maybe that's why so many of us hold such passionate views about the direction and current state of the game. But please, my fellow grognards, just recognize D&D is no longer made for us. And that's okay. I'm an adult. We're adults. We can make whatever house rules we need for our own gaming tables. That's not new. We've always had house rules. I even have the freedom to, check this out, play a different game and not fling poo at whatever current edition of D&D the whippersnappers are taking a liking to. If I was 10 years old again and 5e was my introduction to the hobby, I am 100% certain it would be the best edition of the game ever published, at least in my 10-year-old eyes. And because we were part of a generation of TTRPG players who grew up being bullied for participating in this hobby, we all know the value of not subjecting others to that and why we old folk must support new voices in the community. Can you imagine how much it actually sucks being the most popular female D&D YouTuber? I don't watch videos from the newer, younger enthusiasts because I'm not their target audience, but I'm really proud of their success. Jenny D, for example, is a great ambassador for the younger, newer players. Every grognard should be completely supportive and cheering for her, and every young voice contributing positively to the hobby. It would have been a blessing to have had those voices when we were kids learning to play. A grognard might not think that we could learn anything from newer participants, but we can. We can see their enthusiasm and passion for the hobby. And that is a valuable lesson reminding us our long years of contributions not only kept the game alive, but they've been passed down and embraced by the younger generations. And frankly, that's very exciting. Mechanically, grognards might not agree with newer players. We may not play in the same style. Some may have different ideas about what is and is not acceptable content, but none of that matters. And that's not where our focus should be. Leave others to their journey. The newer voices might even be repeating the same advice the grognards have been giving to a much smaller audience, not interested in hearing from some graybeard, but being bitter isn't helping anyone. Work out your issues, guys. Everyone is on their own journey. And if those voices are providing positive, uplifting contributions, We need to encourage them to keep it up. They are the future of the hobby. I don't have to believe 5th edition D&D is the best edition ever made. And for clarity, I don't. To believe it's important not to subject today's younger generation of players to the same type of bullying behavior we had to endure as children. I get it. There are veteran gamers who think 5e sucks, but I wish those people would understand the difference between facts and opinions. To those individuals, I would just like to say, knock it off. Instead of attacking the younger generation of gamers for their interests, why not try to promote something positive and help them expand and improve on their gaming experiences and skills? Grognards have a responsibility to be compassionate and not subject younger gamers to the same bullying we were made to endure in our youth for playing these games we love. By understanding and applying the paradox of tolerance, we can create a more welcoming and inclusive TTRPG community. Let's stand against bullying and support each other, celebrating the diverse voices that enrich our shared hobby. Together, we can ensure the future of TTRPGs is bright, inclusive, and respectful. Well, those are my thoughts for now. As always, I'm your host and friend, Atten, here at We Love TTRPGs, and I am genuinely blessed to have your support. I appreciate the time you took to watch this video, and I hope the universe returns the love you have given me. Thanks so much for watching.